Welcome to another edition of the Keep Rolling podcast. Today I'm with Dan from SCIA. Dan, tell us a bit about your story, mate.
Hello, mate. Yes, as you just said, Dan from Spinal Cord Injuries Australia Peer and Family Support Team. I am let's say, early 40s. I've been injured since 2008. I was living and working over in Canada at the time of my injury. Thank goodness I was a resident. I had been at a end of season softball party at the top of the mountain, and it was in the fall, so autumn, so no snow, no slipperiness. It was just I'd been on the piss. I was in control, but we were heading down to the village to keep on partying, and I remember walking towards the staircase, and my partner at the time, she went to get a coat, and I was at the top of the staircase, and then the next thing I remember, I had my eyes shut and I could hear my neck go because I could feel myself falling backwards.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that left me C5, C6 quadriplegic. I do, and I am lucky enough to have sensation. So I guess they call that Asia B.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure you're starting to grasp all the terminology now.
Yeah, I got mine yesterday.
But yeah, so that, I did all my rehab over in Canada. And I went from living in the mountains, snowboarding, skiing, mountain biking, hiking, fishing, all the fun things that I've moved over for, to then all of a sudden found myself in Vancouver City. Wasn't for me.
Right.
I think I lasted 18 months before I decided to pull the pin because it was just too much.
In what respect was it too much?
Probably the biggest thing for me was that it was just that city living. Don't get me wrong, Vancouver, beautiful city.
Yeah.
But it was still like a bit too much hustle and bustle, which is now, a total conflict of how I live now.
Yes.
I'm
because you're
literally in the city,
yeah.
and I love it. But I think it was more just the teasing, being able to see the mountaintops covered in snow and know at the time I wasn't able to ride it. It's quite expensive to be able to get into that sport over there as well. Didn't have the funds behind me to do it. And also just at that stage wasn't comfortable enough in my body with my strength and my skill set. And I didn't have the program that we have over there as much as it is here.
Yeah.
So I think that was probably a big key for me sort of making the decision. That and my family obviously flying back and forth constantly to see me. I saw it was a bit of a burden. I could see the money strain.
Yeah, they could have just paid for your support and got you back on the mountain.
Right. So I decided after 18 months that it was probably time to come home. It was a big call. But yeah, moved back in 2010 after the Winter Olympics. We stayed till then.
Oh, that would have been cool to watch.
It was mad.
Yeah.
And again, like sometimes this injury comes with perks. We got some tickets last minute through my partner's work at the time and ended up meeting Wayne Gretzky and a couple of the other old boys from ice hockey in Canada. So
excellent.
Again, some of the experiences that come along with this is absolutely brilliant. So, but yeah, that's kind of me. Moved back. That relationship kind of went from worse to worse. And, it is what it is. It's stopped. And I then thankfully met my love of my life now, my wife.
So where did you two meet? Tell us a little bit about that.
We met. Okay, so we met through her brother and the rugby club. When I first moved to the area that I'm in now, I knew I needed to get involved somehow in the community to sort of embed myself, but also feel comfortable in where I was living.
Yeah, sure.
And then knowing that, once I did make friends, I had those supports close by. And I think after a while being in the chair, you start to learn that you need the supports of the village to help you through things, right?
Sure, yeah.
So yeah, joined the rugby club, started, just working with the board and helping out, doing different functions and things like that. Ended up hanging out with the forwards as one forward does.
Yeah.
And then, it just honestly, mate, like just a few nights out and about, it was a chance meeting, and then and I was still with my partner at the time. There was no, cheating or or anything like that. It was all above board. And then, the friendship just grew. And then after I separated with my ex, his friendship was still there and it still grew. And, we just, lo and behold, ended up just sort of saying, there is something here. So
nice.
It was great, mate. It was sort of probably the hardest conversation was having the conversation with my best mate to say, by the way, I'm kind of into your sister. So, So yeah, that was that, and that was I think God, we're coming up to 6 years now being together. So
What a cool story.
yeah, it was just one of those things. It was natural, right? Like I think a lot of people get scared to dip their toe back into that relationship water after they've had an accident.
Yeah.
Look, from where I was to now, I would never have put myself to say, like I'm expecting a child, I was going to get married. All these things all these things that I had no idea that were still in my future. So
did you think that was not going to be in your future there for a while because of the injury, or
not because of the injury? I think it was just because of maybe age and just did I want to, and all those other things that go along with it. Like I guess, getting into a relationship's hard enough.
Yeah.
Staying in it, being present in it, doing all the things that one needs to do. Then you add in a spinal cord injury. Then you add in carers because I have morning and evening care.
Right.
Having someone work around that schedule and like still be comfortable with it. And then, like some plans obviously change over time, and some plans that they may have had in their life. It's like, do I bring someone along on this journey? And I think I had a lot of hang-ups with that. And that was sort of an internal war that I fought. And I fought it with my psych, and I fought it with...
When you say your psych, like your...
Psychologist?
Psychologist, okay.
Yeah.
So you talked it out?
Yeah, I think...
Got yourself comfortable with it?
100%. Like being able to have those tools in your back pocket to realise when you need help. Not everyone can cope. And I've been doing this since 2008.
Well, there's different versions of the psychologist. There's a psychologist, there's clinical psychologist, there's the counsellor, and depending on the level of conversation is
there's the one that gives you drugs.
That's exactly right. It can script you, but it's definitely worth doing.
100%. I honestly, I can still remember the office and everything. I don't remember the lady's name, but when I was at, they called it GF Strong over there, the rehab centre. And I can remember holding off, and they doped me up on something to sort of give me a bit more of a lift with my mental state. Right. And I finally, I guess, succumbed to whatever drug it was they put me on. And I went into her office and we sat there and we chatted. And for the first 5 sessions, shit you not, I cried for an hour. And all I did was say, I'm sorry. And she kept saying to me, you've got nothing to apologise for. Right. And then we'd get into a conversation about something. And I'd be like, I'm so sorry. And I'd just break down again.
Yeah. So you were releasing emotionally.
Yeah, I think so. And because, again, and I think I touched on that before, that I just kept seeing myself as such a burden. And I think a lot of people in this state do see that because they see their family dynamics have to shift. Yes. Then they're thinking about all the worrying stuff and it's all the big bad world outside, but it's not. And you're not. You know what I mean? It's sort of an internal fight that you have.
Yeah, it's definitely, I understand your perspective for sure.
And I think we've spoken about it the other day. It's that black cloud that comes in, the black dog, whatever you want to call it, and you start festering it. And the more you fester, well, the deeper the rabbit hole goes. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I can strongly say that without any of those supports at the start, I wouldn't have been able to do half the shit that I could do now, for sure. Yeah. And continue to be able to do. Like, I check in with her probably every 6 weeks now, different psych. It also took a long time to get comfortable with one. Yeah. Because being able to be vulnerable with someone in that sense, it's a total stranger.
Well, most people are like, there's nothing wrong with me, is there? I don't need to talk to somebody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Until you start unpacking
But most people, that's right. Yeah, but most people do need to talk to somebody.
Everyone's got some form of disability and some form of mental health.
Something going on,
Something going on. Everyone's on the spectrum.
Or there's a phase in their life that they just need it. Yeah, especially today's world.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah. So tell us a bit about SCIA. How did you fall into SCIA?
Oh, well, that's a very easy way to say how I got this job, actually, is I literally fell into it. When I moved back from Canada, I went to a thing at the time called Walk On, which is now Neuromoves. It's an external rehab facility. Yeah.
Geez, they got all the names for things, haven't they?
I know, right? Yeah. So I guess Walk On, at the time, it was copied on Project Walk from the States. Right. And it was brought out here to Australia. So I got on that list. My name came up. Moved back from Canada to Australia. And while I was there and doing my program to work on, at the time it was to work on fitness, strength and independence. Right. And while I was there, like, a lot of clients kept coming up to me knowing that I'd travelled internationally knowing that I'd done other things that they hadn't been able to experience yet. So they picked my brain, and it was quite easy just to blurt out the answer. It wasn't an issue, you know what I mean? I don't, as you've probably got to know over this time, I'm fine with sharing stuff. Maybe oversharing stuff.
But you got to overshare at some point.
Exactly. So, and it was one of the trainers said to me, one of the physios, she just said, you know, like, there's this peer and family support role coming up. I think you'd be really good for it. You should apply. I was like, all right, sweet. What harm can it do? And then I thought about it. And I was like, well, hang on, I'm still going through a bit of a court case. I can't go to full-time work. Am I ready for full-time work? So I actually went back in a volunteering capacity, and I just used to look after check-ins. Over at Breakfast Point, there used to be a house that they owned. So families could stay. It was kind of like Saga. Families could stay there free of charge on our bill just to get out of the rehab setting and just get back with their loved ones. So I would go, I'd let them in. I'd offer a little bit of a convo. Maybe if they wanted me to come back the next day and check in again, I could. But that's all it was. And I did that as a volunteer role for maybe 6 months. And then I was like, I think I'm in here. Like, the hooks are in. You know, I want more. So then started at Prince of Wales, just doing the talks, the education talks. And then it just, grew and grew, and snowballed. So now, we're across all major hospitals in Sydney, offering our services as, again, it's that it's a very thin line that we do skate sometimes between clinical and lived experience. And that's what we offer, is just a lived experience. It does sound sometimes when we're having conversations with people that we are talking out of a medical book, or, you know, this is what you should do because these are the outcomes. But the reason we're maybe saying it in that sense is because that's exactly what happened to us.
And they're the things that you need to be doing.
But they're the things that happen to us, you know what I mean? And it's like, I can cut you some of this bullshit that you're going to go through here. Because this is literally what happened to me. This is what's happening to you. I know we're different people, but maybe ask about this first. You know what I mean? If we can shorten the journey for someone, or make people not go through some of the nightmarish things that we've been through. You know, for example, I came back from to Australia, and Mum and Dad had their bathroom renovated. The guy who renovated didn't put a hot water regulator on the tank. 5 seconds of boiling hot water on my thigh. Full thickness burns, 6 weeks in the burns unit, 3 skin grafts.
Wow.
So it's just all those little things that you just need to make sure you tick off the boxes, you know?
There is a lot of little things in between.
And there's so many things that
you take for granted.
And I think we've had,
we've
had, I know a couple of clients upstairs I've had combos with too. They're like, I would never have thought of that. It's like, no, you wouldn't.
No.
Because until you're in it and you're in that situation, you're like, oh, that's going to be easy to use this than this. Or this is a cheaper option. You know what I mean?
That's right. And you're right. It is a lot of little moves in between. It's like you'll want to get up and go to bed. It's just not get up, flicked off the telly, bathroom, bed. There's a whole process that runs in the middle of that.
Correct.
And you can't skip a step.
Correct. Because if you skip a step, you're either back in bed or you're in bed for a long period of time, or you've forgotten to put your leg bag on, and your catheter's just pissing everywhere.
Yeah, that's right. Now you've made it a longer journey to get in. It's really, really quite something, isn't it? You know. All right. So, because SCIA, from what I read on the site, so SCIA is now collaborating in with Royal Rehab. But what's that merger there that I've?
So, I'd love to be able to be the expert on this, but the merger did go ahead out of a vote from the membership group.
That's right.
Which is fantastic. It keeps the company afloat. We've been around since. I think we've been around about 60 odd years, but Royal Rehab Group have been around for 150 or 125 years. Sorry. The benefit of us working together, I think, is amazing. We don't have to. Again, we're a non-for-profit. We used to be funded by the government. Now we're heavily reliant on other funds and grants. Being able to utilise, I guess, some of the funding sources that this group has is going to be great for the company. It makes sense. Their client base is huge, so we can maybe get out and help more people.
That's for sure.
And they run right up and down the East Coast, which is fantastic. You know, like we're in little hubs and pockets up and down the East Coast. So, like big changes at the minute, I don't think so. I think at the minute, as we've been told, we're just feeling each other out a little bit to see where things lay and what the best way to move forward is. But I think peer and family support and advocacy is going to be a huge benefit working under.
It's just from my position, just coming from recently from able-bodied to disabled body in the last 6 months. like you can really see the lack of what's support, the lack of infrastructure that's out there for people in wheelchairs, for people with disabilities. Like it's, again, as an able-bodied person, you just don't see it.
I know. You just think a ramp sometimes is enough. Or that's a small enough step. That's accessible.
Yeah. That handrail will be enough. No, definitely not. Yeah. And it has been a delight to meet you guys, because the team here are very good at technical. Where you guys shoot straight from the hip in real life.
And I mean, look,
and they couldn't say it.
Some people find us a little bit too much sometimes, I guess you would say, when we're just like, no,
that's how it is.
I'll give you the point blank, because at the end of the day, you're going to end up in hospital if you keep doing it that way, or thrive this way. You know what I mean? And we go for the I don't know if we can swear on this one, but no bullshit approach.
Yeah.
Because what's the point of lying?
Yeah.
You're going to get found out. You know what I mean? I'm not going to overpromise shit to you, because at the end of the day, it's my word.
Yeah.
That's just now been thrown out the window.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I created that Spinal Support New South Wales page, for everyone to get on, and just for us not to have to control the narrative of what's happening. Then it's like, it's not just coming from us. It's coming from all your other peers out there that have lived it. Ask each other. Yeah.
Tell us a bit more about the page.
So it started 7 years ago. I started it out of, I guess, not so much necessity, but it was something I think that was missing in the New South Wales space, for us to sort of all share the experiences or the equipment that we'd seen. And it's one of those pages that when I first started it, I didn't realise how quick it would become a beast of its own.
Yeah, right.
And it really has become a beast of its own. Like, it's fantastic to, people post things, and it'll be some stupid o'clock in the morning, and someone else is up at that same stupid o'clock in the morning, and they answer the question, and they answer it honestly. They don't bully, they don't judge.
That's cool.
People looking to travel places, bang, someone will tag someone in something, and the conversation just goes, and then they can go offline and start messaging each other.
Yeah, right.
So I think it's been really good. I think
that's a strong sense of community right there, eh?
That's it. Yeah. And, I think this is a really niche community as well. And I think the cool thing about it is that we all get it, because we've all been there. Yeah. We've all stared at that stucco ceiling and tried to count the holes in the walls, you know what I mean? Before we go crazy. And we've all had the good and bad nurse experiences. We've all had the good and bad bowel routines. We've all had the pressure issues and this, the bed rest or all these other things. So, we've had great stories as well about, check out this new bit of equipment we've got, or I went on this holiday, it was so good and so accessible. So it's such a contrast in that thing, and it just keeps going.
Yeah.
So
and it is good for newbies like myself who have just come into the space, and I would imagine even those that have been in the space for quite some time, because of the evolution as well. Yeah, like I met a chap the other day, and I won't mention the name, and we were just talking about falling out of the chair, because I've come out of the chair 4 times already.
It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Well, they tell me if you're not coming out of the chair, you're not trying hard.
Exactly right.
So I've come out of the chair, and I thought I'd like to be able to learn to get back into the chair, but I actually would have thought it would have hurt more to fall, but it actually
fall like a limp noodle.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
it's the only way to describe it.
So it's a strength thing, and it's a technique thing. I understand that. But this chap the other day was like, showed us, and he was just under the table, and he's just pushed himself back and flipped his chair, and then grabbed his chair and rolled it across the room, and then I was like, trying to get the camera out to to film it, and then he's done this little walk that he does across, like it's a crab walk, and so on his hip and his hands, and he pulled himself back up in the chair, and he did it all in under 30 seconds, and I was like, do that again. And he, boom.
Yeah.
And he just did it again.
Yeah, technique on practice.
Wow.
And I mean, some people with their wheelchair skills I'm mind boggled by it. But then you get
But that was inspirational for me.
That's it.
Because now I'm not scared of coming out of a chair.
Exactly.
I just need to, because when I've come out of the chair, I was like, they told me to dial 000. So the chair's over there, don't touch me, bing, bing. And There's got to be a better way than that.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm not hurt or injured.
Exactly. If you're not hurt or injured, and it's in a safe space where you can try and figure it out yourself. I think the biggest ones are, like for someone like yourself, you're very, you've got your upper body, you've got your hands, you've got your strength. for high level quads like myself. If I come a gutser,
yes,
mate, I'm not even attempting to get my
No.
fat ass back in this chair at all.
Yeah.
You know, like that's a forklift job.
Yeah.
So that's call the fireys, get the big fellas around.
Yeah.
If you need an air mattress or whatever you got to do to bungee cord me back into the chair, go nuts.
I just don't want to be on a first name basis with anybody.
Exactly. And you know, like we even say, like, let the fireys know that you're back in town if you're moving in an area.
Okay. Yeah.
Because they're aware, you know. And the last thing you want to be in bed as a quad, and if there is a fire, lo and behold, get me out as quick as you can.
Yeah.
But you know what? Don't come into my house and rip me out of bed not knowing that I may have a catheter bag connected to the bed and rip my catheter out. No thanks. So, you know, there's some things that you need to take into consideration.
There's things that you're not thinking about.
Yeah. But they also know who, you know, like in certain areas, I guess, they want to know who is where for safety's sake. Like if they need to make sure that if there's floods or whatever, that they know that there's someone there that needs more assistance.
Yeah.
And again, taking an ambulance off the road at $300 or $400, however much it is now, if you're not on the DSP or any government, you have to pay that.
Charge you. Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And you're also probably, the worst thing about it, and power to the ambos, can't say enough about how much I love them, but every time they turn up, it's two small chicks, they're not allowed to lift. You know what I mean? So all they're going to do is call the fireys anyway.
Yeah, right.
So just cut the middleman out, keep that ambulance on the road for someone having a heart attack.
Yeah.
Get the fellas that are just lifting weights, polishing the truck or sleeping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Come out, help me out.
Yeah.
And they're more than happy to throw you in the chair because it's also education for them. You know, it's hands-on training.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah, fair enough. Let's talk about where to from here.
Where to from here? Oh, shit.
Yeah, let's talk about where to from here.
Okay, where to from here for you or me?
No, for you. Mate, I can't wait to be released back to the wild.
That's it. You got to get back into the wild. I can't wait.
I'm coming.
As a fellow coastie, mate, I'm very excited for you.
Yeah, thank you, mate. Thank you. But what's the future hold for here? Like what for both Dan and SCIA and anything else in between? Like I know you got a beautiful family, you got a new baby on the way.
We've got 5 weeks before I think shit's really going to hit the wall. Possibly, hopefully not. No, but it's very exciting. I've got a kid inbound, baby boy, which is very, very exciting. And again, I think that's like yourself. The great unknown for me.
Yeah.
This new world for you, great unknown what's going to happen. And look, everyone just says get your sleep now and you'll be fine. You'll be, I think we're as ready as we can be.
Yeah.
But other than that, mate, I think, look, I love this job. I love the company I work for. The work that I get to do with people like yourself, hearing all the war stories, I love it. I love being able to share my story. I love being able to listen to other people's stories and help them through that from the deer in the headlights look, especially from partners and mums and dads that you meet, that it's like, what now? What can I expect? Does their life go on?
Yeah.
Am I putting them in a hole? You know what I mean? To then all of a sudden seeing some of these guys and girls walk out of here and it's like, mate, 6 months ago, you had so much shit hanging out of you. Or you were just a head in a chair, and now you're walking out of here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, look how far you've already come in that short time. So
that is cool to see that.
That's crazy. Like I met a fellow last couple of weeks ago. I caught up with him again, who was a young kid who came through here. Mate, I didn't even recognise him. I rolled right past him.
Yeah, right.
He was upright, lost 20 kegs. Totally different dude. I was
he's a different person.
What has happened here?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So he just turned and he just thanked me for all the support. And it's just like, it's nice hearing that, like there's not too many jobs where you can see that reward.
Yeah.
Just for doing something so simple for someone and seeing a major turn in either their attitude for the day or the outcome for the rest of how they live.
Yeah.
Like we don't try and be a messiah or anything bullshit that we know all and, our word is Bible. It's not, like we're just a whole bunch of, guys and girls who have been doing it for a while that may have already been through the shit that you've been through, that we can make it, stay away from it, go this way.
Yeah.
Make life easier on yourself, you know what I mean? And then in turn, you pass that on to someone else and someone else and someone else, right? So I think it's all about, as you said, lifting each other up.
Yes, it is. Very much so.
And if we can continue to do that as, as a company, and if I can continue to do that as as the Pure and Family Support coordinator that I am, I'd be stoked to be able to continue doing that.
Yeah, excellent. Terrific. All right, well, Dan, thanks very much for coming on the Keep Rolling podcast.
No problem.
All the very best to you for the future and the family, mate.
Thank you, mate. Likewise. And, I'm really looking forward to seeing where your journey goes, mate.
Appreciate it.
Absolute best of luck to you. I literally can't wait.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks a lot.